Hey there, Rebecca here, your Vibe mentor. Do you feel like you're stuck in a cycle of endless struggle? Have you ever caught yourself asking yourself the question, is life really just one big uphill battle? It's a feeling that many of us know well. And the belief that life is hard can cast a shadow over our lives. The truth is, life doesn't have to be hard. But the real reason that you're stuck in the endless struggle is the belief that life has to be hard or life is hard. But I can understand why you would have this belief. Life could have been difficult for you at one point in time. And when life is hard, we don't understand what's going on or how to change it or when it will end. And especially if you grew up in a toxic environment, if you didn't feel safe, seen, heard, cared for, and loved as a child, then you may have adopted this belief that life is hard. And when we don't understand how to play the game called life, we will struggle. And it's easy to also adopt this belief when we look around us and we see many other people are struggling. So there's plenty of reasons why we might have adopted that belief. But it's kind of like trying to drive a fancy sports car without the instruction manual when we're just blindly fumbling through life with these beliefs and not even realizing they're there. So it makes total sense that you would believe that's the only option. But the truth is, just because life was hard for a period of time, that doesn't mean it's always going to be that way. Not every person who has experienced hardship or trauma stays stuck in the endless struggle. Take Nelson Mandela for an example. He spent 27 years in prison in horrible conditions. It probably could have been considered torture. And yet he went on to become the nation's first African-American, well, Black president. Sorry, he was an American. J.K. Rowling is another great example. She also struggled as a single mother, and she was living on welfare when she first started the Harry Potter series. Those books have generated over $800 million for her. Her life is no longer difficult, and your life does not have to be difficult either. It is all too easy for our brain to oversimplify and say life is always difficult. But is it really? This is where we have to question the brain and its all or nothing thinking and ask yourself, have there ever been some good times? Are we overlooking the good times? The belief that life has to be hard is a self-fulfilling prophecy. We are powerful creators, and your beliefs create your reality. So this in turn limits our growth and prevents our resiliency when we choose the belief that life is hard. Worst of all, it prevents your healing and stepping into your purpose, the most important thing. So how is it this belief that life is hard serving you? Everything we do comes from a place of needing to survive, that we made that choice because it served us in some way. So how is this belief serving you? And is there a better way to accomplish the goal of that belief? If the belief that life is hard is going to keep you from happiness, from purpose, from abundance, I bet if you're honest with yourself, you'll realize it is. Ask yourself that question. Is the belief that life is hard keeping you from happiness? Is it keeping you from purpose? Is it keeping you from abundance? I bet if you're honest with yourself, you will see the truth. Elizabeth Smart is another great example of a person who experienced hardship, but went on to build a beautiful life and business, and everything that she touches is amazing. She was the girl who was abducted at 14 years old. She was held captive in the woods and forced to marry a man who psychologically manipulated her. She was abused. My goodness, this fly wants to say hello, like right on my forehead. That's crazy. She was physically, emotionally, and sexually abused. Very interesting timing, the fly to make me laugh right as I'm saying that. So pardon the fly. After 9 months of being tortured, she was rescued and she went on to become an advocate for child safety. She started a foundation to advocate for trauma survivors. She's a public speaker, an author. She has spoken on prominent media outlets, and she's even published her own documentary and influences policies around rescue, trauma, and child safety. She has literally turned shit into gold, to quote Amanda Frances. So then this begs the question, how do we do this? Why are we stuck? If we experience trauma, abuse, just general conditioning and programming that has caused us to isolate and shut down, how do we use what we've experienced and not let it keep us trapped? How do we overcome what we believe has caused us to become trapped? And even if it's not a physical trap, it's the trap of struggle. It's the trap of endless suffering. How do we do it? It's trauma spotting through source tapping, otherwise known as the TEST method. Whether you believe you've experienced trauma or not, that does not matter. The solution is the same for us all. This modality is like magic. A client literally used that term with me this morning, and I was so happy to hear her reflect the same sentiments that I believe, right? The body is profoundly wise and it is designed to heal. Trauma spotting is a somatic healing therapy that leverages the natural healing abilities of the body. You combine that with the power of source healing energy and you tap into a winning combination. It is beautiful, it is soft, it is easy, it is effortless, and it's apparently like magic, right? Yes, it does require a little bit of shadow work. You have to be willing to look at those things, but the alternative is far worse. Living in endless struggle, feeling that sinking feeling in your stomach on Monday morning when you have to go to a job you hate, or those heart palpitations and sweaty palms when you near the end of a discovery call and it's time to ask for the sale, right? Or that sick and tired feeling where you can't find the energy to just go on with life, let alone promote or start a business, right? So you have two choices. You can either continue to keep doing the same thing over and over and hoping for a different result, which, by the way, is the definition of insanity, or you can remove the blocks and heal the trauma that stand in your way so that you can finally open up to the willingness to choose the belief life doesn't have to be hard. Life can be amazing, so that you can step into your purpose, so that you can help end human suffering, so that you can claim your abundance birthright, all at the same time. The choice is yours. Who will you choose to be? If you're ready to choose a new path and to choose a new life, to pull these pesky limiting beliefs up and out of your subconscious brain so that you can finally move through life the way you want to, unimpeded, then give us a call. Click the link below, comment below, whatever your preference is as far as getting in touch. I am here for you. And remember, these things can live sort of in our blind spots. They're not always easy to see. You can hold these beliefs, not think you consciously do, but subconsciously they still live inside of you. And that's all because of the unhealed blocks and wounds that live in your body. So it would be an honor and a blessing to be graced with your presence, to get to know you, to support you, and to help you not only overcome your blocks, but step into your purpose and manifest the abundance the world needs you to have. We need you to thrive because the rising tide rises all boats. I love you, my friends. Namaste. We'll see you on the next video.